Hey, what's up everybody? It's Blake of the Popra, and welcome to Game Reviews. This week, Madden 13 is in the spotlight, obviously, because the Super Bowl happened. Go Ravens! So yeah, we're going to be doing a recreation of the Super Bowl on here, just because I figured it'd be fitting. So, yeah, let's jump right into the review. So, Madden 13, newest installment of the popular EA Sports franchise, Madden NFL. It's been going on since, I believe, 1990 now. And it's basically, if you don't, if you're under a rock, it's just a football game. They've got all the teams. They update the rosters every year to keep everything the way it is in real life. Ever since they came onto the Xbox 360, PS3, stuff like that with online capabilities, they've even added roster updates every week to account for injuries, trades, releases, anything to make it as realistic as possible when you play the game. And right here they even have the actual Super Bowl stadium with special commentary just for the Super Bowl to make it really how it's supposed to be. Madden used to be sold it's been sold for almost every console. I mean, I think every console, I believe, has had a Madden game on it so far, with the exception of the handhelds, DS, Game Boy, PSP, except for the Nintendo 3DS is breaking the boundary there. The Nintendo 3DS has a Madden NFL football, which is that. They even had arcade games. I remember when the Gaddy Town down here in the Colony or in Frisco, they had a Madden NFL game there, and that was like the game I wanted to play all the time. I wasted all my money on it because I was just addicted to that game. Had it since 2003, or had a Madden since 2003, and I've always been into football. I'm one of those nerds who's into football. So, yeah. So, this isn't a review of the whole series. This is a review of this game. So I should probably get on topic. Madden 13. A lot of new things happened in this. They dropped the increasingly popular franchise mode. Well, not exactly replaced. I'd say that they upgraded it. They changed from franchise to connected careers, which is kind of a mixture of franchise and the old superstar mode together. You can either start out, if you can choose coach or player. If you start out in player, you can either choose a new player and entering the draft class, or you can choose an NFL player and take over their career and play specifically as that player and try and do your best. And I just let them score, 'cause I'm the Ravens. If you choose coach, it's more like franchise mode because you control a whole team. You either be an old coach, legend coach, or you can be a new coach, just taking over one of your favorite teams. And you pretty much make all the decisions. It's kind of like franchise mode like that. And they've got a bunch of new things. They've got one of the things I really liked was the inclusion, the including not only of they have legendary players being included in the game sometimes, like Barry Sanders could play. They had some of the old players like that. They also have players coming out of retirement, such as Kurt Warner, Brett Favre, guys like that. So that was a pretty cool thing. Honestly, I barely dipped into connected careers, so I can't explain everything. I know they do have an online function where you can actually start your own franchise, your own league, with people. They still have continued with the Madden Ultimate Team mode, where you purchase cards, technically, of players and build your own team, and you can play it online or in the game. But obviously the biggest part of this game is just football. Those two are like the big popular game modes. Online has become a big part of Madden ever since its inclusion in the online era of game consoles. And every year this game's been getting better. This game has amazingly good graphics. If you've noticed throughout the gameplay that's going on for the last 4 minutes, these graphics look lifelike almost. I mean, they're getting to the point where we're gonna have you're not gonna be able to tell. People walking by won't be able to tell if you're actually watching a football game, if you're playing Madden. It's just gonna be that realistic. So yeah, another thing they included in this game, which is really popular, was the new physics engine. I'm not sure, haven't really been paying too much attention to the footage rolling, but The new physics engine basically makes it so every single hit a player makes affects their momentum. It's especially relevant in the running game, where in the old Madden, you could bash into the back of your lineman or whatever for 5 seconds, and then somehow break off and still break an 80-yard touchdown. None in this game. Every time you run up the middle and bump into someone, you're gonna slip a little bit. You're gonna lose your footing, your momentum, and you're gonna have to regain all of that. Every time a defender bumps into you, you're gonna start, lean into that side just like a real human would. And so that makes you pretty much fight for every single yard. If the tackler coming in doesn't have enough momentum, or just isn't at the right angle, the tackle will maybe sloppy, may take a while, may not even tackle him. It's all depending on, the new physics, which is, something that I thought was really needed, because in, old Maddens, you could hit a player, they'll slip the tackle and then immediately still be at top speed, which was kind of an irritant, if you will. Because, you had them, and in real life, it'd be like the rest of the defense could catch up, not in the old Maddens. So that was a really nice inclusion in the game. Things that they've had sort of, it started incorporating a few generations back. That is another thing I kind of like. It's the QB awareness, and they kind of adapted it to wide receiver awareness. Now, if you notice during passing plays, they've had they have the A, the Y, the B. The button corresponding to that receiver will be dulled out if that receiver is not looking for the ball. If they are looking for the ball, it'll be lit up, which makes it so it's realistic. You have to wait for the player to be expecting the ball to be thrown to them before they'll actually make the catch. If you throw it too soon, they might miss it. And it goes the same for defenders, although there's no sort of, special keys indicating it. If a defender is turned around, they will not go for the ball, or they might be late to react to the ball. That was kind of a complaint in the old Maddens, where there was sort of a psychic defender, where they wouldn't even be looking, not looking at the ball the entire play, swing their hand up and knock it over. So that was the thing that they addressed, which is one thing I love about EA Sports. They're really good at addressing, fans' opinions. A lot of game companies aren't very good at that, listening to what the fans want. EA Sports has done a lot of that with Madden. Listen, the fans want this, the fans want that. They've asked for fans' opinion on certain things. They let the fans decide what the box looks like for the game. These guys really incorporate, the popular opinion into their game. If you go out of gameplay and go sort of into aesthetic looks of the game, the whole lighting has been changed in the game. Shadows, looks of the players and everything depend on the lighting of the scenario. If you're set up playing an afternoon game or getting to night game, the lighting changes will occur by play instead of by quarter like it used to in the old Madden. Every single quarter, the lighting gets a little bit different. Maybe the sun going down, so it's gonna dimmer. And by the end of the game, you could be playing the game in broad daylight. By the end of the game, it could be complete nighttime, which is something I really thought it really adds a realism effect to the game. One of the big changes to the game was the inclusion of an actual commentators in the booth. Before every single game, they actually show the two new commentators, Jim Nantz and Phil Simms from CBS, in the booth, represented in there, which is a really cool thing because it actually starts to make it look more and more like, a real TV broadcast of a game. You're getting that and other things. It's really, really looking cool. They changed the uniforms to be the Nike uniforms. Other than, the old uniforms since they changed. They have a new dynamic range lighting and motion blur, which they adapted from NCAA football, which sort of during the replays and during some aspects of the game, players look blurred, which kind of adds, you know, actual momentum feel to it. You know, it looks like it would in a game where sometimes the players are a little blurred because they're going so fast by you, and that's one thing you know, you may not notice it consciously, but subconsciously you know it looks a lot smoother, it looks a lot better, and other things like that. They've also introduced the hundreds of new cutscenes before and after games. Um, they've overhauled the entire replay system for a more dramatic effect of the game in the game. You know, it just adds that whole, you know, extra yard in the game. No pun intended. Okay, maybe. Since you know, not every review is going to be completely perfect. Things I didn't. One thing I really didn't like about this game, well, not really didn't like, but would have wished they changed, is that in the old game they had like a quote halftime show, which is kind of more like showing some clips from the first half and the score and some stats, and that was it. They don't have like a true halftime show, or even in the Super Bowl, they don't even have like a halftime performance or something. They had some kind of thing back in Madden 3, 4 maybe, where they even had like the cheerleaders in the middle of the field. That was something. If they had decided to overhaul that, to turn that into more of something, that would have been nice. But they really kind of abandoned that. Audio-wise in this game, Nance and Sims recorded 82 hours of commentary for this game, over 9,000 unique lines. Most of them are ad-libbed, and they regularly have interactions and comment on what is actually happening on the field. As in, they practiced for certain scenarios on the field. You know, if it's an intense rivalry like Cowboys and Giants, or you know, Patriots and Jets, some big rivalry, they'll make it seem like it's actually a game because they know certain player matchups and stuff like that. The crowd noise, it's not really something everyone really pays attention to, but the crowd noise has been amplified. It was recorded with 24 microphones instead of 4, so it gives it a more realistic feel of actually being in an NFL game, hearing all the noise. They started a partnership with NFL Films to get exclusive sound clips like, you know, hits and tackles, group chatter, microphone noise from the quarterback voices to actually, you know, make it seem like a game. Even when it shows like the sideline, you get, you know, teams. You get to hear hear the teams on the sideline, which is really kind of a cool thing that they added. This is the first Madden where they replaced the old. In the old Maddens, when you were sometimes in between games and during the on the main menu, they would have a selection of maybe 15 popular songs that they selected to be in that game as the music for that game soundtrack. They replaced that with a whole giant soundtrack called Madden NFL 13 theme. It's just their thing, but it's a huge track, huge song, and it's the only song that plays in the game. And they've made it like their signature thing. Yeah, that's their noise. Other things included in this game that might be interesting. Their control scheme has now matched the control scheme of NCAA football, which makes people who play the college game and Madden, you know, it doesn't really mix them up, because I know I've played NCAA and been a little confused as to like, wait, didn't this do this? Well, it does that in Madden. And so now, since they're both made by the same company, I guess they decided to finally go, hey, guess what? We own both those games. Why don't we just make the controls the same, save people the trouble? Because that's nice, you know. Special teams has been upgraded to get rid of player clustering. You know, they've also integrated cover and lane logic and formations and better wedges on returns to make it, you know, returns used to be so hard to do. Like, I don't know why, but it seemed like every time you're trying to do a return, you just get stuffed. At least in Madden 12, when it started the new kickoff return based on the new rules, it started to get really hard to return kicks. It's not too hard to return kicks now because they've actually got improved blocking for the AI, to where they'll do better for you. They've included some special player celebrations, like for Tebow, Gronkowski, Cruz, Newton. You know, they've included their signature touchdown dance to make the presentation every bit as realistic as they can, which is something I love about Madden. Every year they strive to make the game as realistic as humanly possible through animation and game design. So that's the for the Xbox 360. If you want to go, if you have that and you have a Kinect, you might try playing Madden 13 utilizing their Kinect feature. If you're playing in single-player mode, which I am currently not, so I can't showcase that feature, you can use voice commands. If you go into the options and enable it, you can use voice commands to control your team. You can call audibles, send players on hot routes, start the play completely, from your voice. It doesn't really have the, the whole, throw the football by swinging your arm like the Wii probably would, in the future, the Wii U. But it's got that whole feel like you are like the quarterback. You are the play caller. You're calling out the shots with your mouth, and then you say hut and then start the play. That's actually something some people might get into, is actually feeling like they're in, they are the play caller. So, that's something that's really interesting. I haven't really tried it that much, but I've seen other people try it, and it looks like it'd be interesting, especially even for like younger kids who just want to say hut. That's pretty cool. You get to feel like you're in the game. So I've been feeling like this game has definitely improved over the last one. Not the last one sucked, but it's definitely improves over the other Maddens. It's amazing to think that since the first Madden I got in 2003, all the way to this Madden, just 10 years later, has gone through so much change. It's been amazing. The amount of change that's gone into Madden and video games in general in my lifetime. It's been an interesting thing to watch. And so, yeah, that's... I'm not sure what else to say about Madden 13. There's not too many, like a whole 20-minute long thing to talk about, with the whole upgrades and everything. Improved AI, improved pretty much everything. 430 new catch animations for receivers. I don't know if they took this out, but I remember in Madden 11, 12, they actually added the David Tyree catch from the Super Bowl. So that shows you that they're actually, they're paying attention. If you go into creative player mode, they've actually got every single quarterback has their own throwing animation. They've got distinct throwing animations for the quarterback. They got, like, Brady, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, Tony Romo, Michael Vick. They got all the players in there, into the studio, and use little suits with little balls on them to actually record how they throw the ball. So every single player throws the ball differently, and that's something that, it's another one of those things you may not notice too much, but it's there, and it's really cool that they actually decided to add that, just to add that little bit of realism to the game, just to make it that much more realistic. They actually have 3D models for historical players, like I mentioned before, with the Connected Careers mode. During the Super Bowl, during the presentation of the Lombardi Trophy, they'll actually have an old Super Bowl MVP, Jerry Rice, John Elway, Emmitt Smith, one of the old Super Bowl MVPs actually presenting the trophy, which is a pretty cool thing to add into the game, as it just, again, adds a little bit of extra realism to the game. They ended up taking out the little trip to the White House and visiting Obama thing from the Super Bowl celebration, obviously because of the election. You know, oh no, Romney was elected, so that would have been a little awkward and embarrassing for EA Sports. I'm trying to think of anything else because there's still like 5 minutes left in this review. Well, I think there's 5 minutes left, a whole quarter left. Not really much else to mention. They've added defenders will break off of either zone or man coverage to go into another coverage based on what the offense does. So that's cool. Yeah. Pretty much it's the same game. It's the same concept, not the same game, but it's the same concept as all the other Maddens. They just added extra things. So I think I'm just gonna end this commentary short, and I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of our Super Bowl from the 2-minute warning. So thanks for watching the game review. Always check out our website, www.tcpawprint.net, and keep looking out for the next game review. See you next time. Bye.
That's a wonderful throw of the football, and it leads to another incomplete pass.
After the incomplete pass, it brings up second down. And the give now to Ray Rice. Tackles made.
Good job getting the first down by the offside line a little longer. That's what they're hoping for.
They face first down. Now first and 10. Back to the ground now on first down. That picks up 7. Someone's been injured.
Get off the field, and my guess is he's going to be okay. A little bit of a scare there, no doubt about it. That makes everybody nervous.
Second down, 3 for the first. Gets past the first wave.
Nice job that time, getting that extra yard and getting that first down. This offense methodically just marching down the field.
It's good news.
Yeah, it is good news to him, his family, all the friends, and of course the fans here in attendance today. They're going to be happy because
all the way home, just in time, a late touchdown. PAT coming up. It's good. In kickoff return formation. He's brought down at the 25-yard line. The 49ers getting ready now to start their drive. Miracles do happen, but this team's going to need one probably to pull this off. He's going deep. Knocked down.
I think that's the hardest. That time the defensive back did it. What a play.
Split backfield here. Second and 10. He'll throw it over the middle. The pass is incomplete. There was no one open.
One of the ways to stop it is tight man-to-man coverage. You against him.
Here, a split backfield from the shotgun. He'll fire it out to the left. Thrown incomplete. Press coverage all the way. Not much time left here, and they're down, so they're going to stay out here on fourth down. Looking across the middle. Ooh, they failed to pick up the fur.
He's in position and able to make the football be incomplete.
This series begins for the offense with a very good chance to score. The Super Bowl has been won by the Baltimore Ravens. The Lombardi Trophy is going back to Baltimore. You were the first to ever say, after a Super Bowl victory, I'm going to Disneyland. Now, what about these players on the field here today?
I know you'll find this amazing. I did it without cue cards. I memorized that, and it was awesome. It was a great feeling.
gentlemen, please welcome legendary Hall of Fame wide receiver and Super Bowl 23 MVP, Jerry Rice, and the Vince Lombardi Trophy.
There they are, holding the Lombardi Trophy triumphantly. What a season it's been for them, and no better way to top it off than with a Super Bowl victory. Truly a special moment. For Phil Simms and all the crew, I'm Jim Nance. Stay tuned for the post-game wrap-up show, and we'll see you next year here on EA Sports.